So, I said this in my Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice spoiler review. And he was able to pull off Watchmen. I feel like he was able to. But when it comes to Justice League, I don't feel like he's able to pull that off. I really don't think he's able to do it. Yeah, safe to say, I was wrong. So Zack Snyder's Justice League is essentially Zack Snyder's vision of what the 2017 version could have been. If you guys have seen my review of the 2017 version, that movie does share the same basic DNA of Snyder's film. However, Snyder's film not only elaborates and expands upon a lot of things the 2017 version does gloss over, but at the same time, this is essentially a brand new movie. Alrighty guys, so let's get into Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Excellent!
This was a movie that I really thought that it did not exist at all. And actually, as a matter of fact, I really thought that the Snyder Cut was just one big urban legend that the film world made up. Because when it comes to the 2017 version of Justice League, to which don't worry, I'll get into that in a little bit, that was a movie that, if you have read up on the production history of that movie, that film went through hell and back to come out, and Zack Snyder went through hell and back to not only make the movie he wanted to make from the 2017 version, but also to get this movie made as well. I can't imagine the experience it was for him to try and make the film that not only he wanted to make, but to also try to appease the studio. There were reports that the Snyder Cut was unwatchable. I mean, this movie was unwatchable? Really? One of the reasons why he left the 2017 version is because apparently not only did he lose the will to fight the studio because he wanted to make the film he wanted to make, but also because in his personal life, he was dealing with a tragedy in his life, to which it was absolutely horrible what happened. I cannot imagine what was going through Zack's mind as he was trying to finish the film, but also as he was trying to go through a grieving process. Then afterwards, Warner Brothers brought in Joss Whedon to not only finish the film, but they were hoping that Joss would fix the movie, and as a result, we got that movie, to which, by the way, what did I give that film originally? Bring that down a little bit. Right there. Okay. I did give that film a 3.75 out of 5, mainly because at the time when I was seeing it, I had a great time watching that movie. However, ever since then, my mind has changed considerably since. That's the point where I don't give it a bad review, because I don't consider the 2017 Justice League a bad movie. In fact, I think it is still a very fun film. It has a lot of good things in it. There was a lot of promises. However, that film is just such a bumpy ride. It's a jumbled mess that is why it is brought down so much. Ultimately, it failed to deliver on many fronts. When I heard that there was a Snyder Cut, I thought, no, there's no way. I mean, I think it was back in 2018, if I remember correctly. It was either back then or 2019 that there was that release of Snyder Cut movie, to which I was just thinking, guys, there's no Snyder Cut. There's nothing out there. Like, why are you fighting for something that's not even happening? For the fans that kept fighting for this movie to come out, good on you guys, because I was one of the people that really thought that it did not exist. But then it was confirmed by Zack Snyder himself that his version of the film actually existed. It was coming to HBO Max tomorrow. Now, well, actually technically today, because the video comes out today. I'm filming the day before. Anyways, getting back to the point. I was still going like, I don't know about this film, because, I mean, I didn't love Batman v Superman, although I will say I did finally watch the Ultimate Edition. Such a better movie than the theatrical cut, even though I did enjoy the theatrical version. I love Man of Steel, so I really do think that Zack Snyder is a very, very good filmmaker. However, narratively, I do think that here and there he does stumble. However, the moment that the DC Fandom trailer came out, I was itching to see this movie. So finally, I saw this movie, and guys, I am so happy to say this. Zack Snyder's Justice League is not only the film that I was hoping it would be, but it was more. So freaking happy. As a matter of fact, I am ecstatic that this cut actually does exist after years of fans fighting for it. So to the fans, well done for fighting for this cut to be in existence. Even though that the 2017 movie does share some strands of DNA with this movie, there will be some comparing, do not get me wrong, but this will not be a spoiler-filled review. Getting right into the performances, everything here compared to the 2017 version is so much more superior. I mean, from Ben Affleck as Batman, Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, Ray Fisher as Cyborg. Oh my god, Ray Fisher absolutely kills it. Jason Momoa as Aquaman, Henry Cavill as Superman, but also Syrian Hines, I think I pronounced his name, as Steppenwolf, to which, yes, Steppenwolf, so much better, by the way. I did enjoy Wonder Woman in the 2017 version of Justice League. However, here, she is so much more of a badass compared to the 2017 version here. And the moment that you're introduced to her here, remember how the 2017 version played out? This movie does have maybe 15% of that fight sequence. This one's modified, and if you ask me, this one plays out so much better, and it ends so much cooler. Ben Affleck as Batman, I thought when it came to Batman v Superman, he was my favorite aspect of Batman v Superman. Here, he is definitely one of my favorite aspects of the Snyder Cut. I thought that the Snyder Cut here did a much better job here of carrying Bruce Wayne's guilt after what happened in Batman v Superman into that's the story arc that comes into the Snyder Cut and wanting to do Superman right after the events that happened. One thing that I did like about the 2017 movie was Ezra Miller's The Flash. Even though I will not lie, when it came to the humor, there were more than a few occasions where the humor was very cringy. In fact, I remember seeing in the theater with my boss just going like, oh, that was awkward. Here though, not the case. In fact, I would say a lot of the humor, more than most of it, actually quite lands. And unlike the 2017 version, Ezra Miller's The Flash really does have an emotional backstory. And in fact, one of my favorite scenes in this movie involved him and his dad speaking in a jail cell. Not really a jail cell, but one of those areas where you can talk with people you were visiting over the phone. There is a scene in this cut that honestly brought a tear to my eye. Another thing that I really liked about the 2017 version was Aquaman. I thought he had a great personality, the badass personality. Here, he still has that. However, it's expanded upon so much more, and in fact, he was much more of a reluctant hero this time. He did care for the people, for this village that he was rescuing people for. However, at the same time, there's a lot more expanded upon it, and trust me, in the best ways possible. Easily, out of all of the Justice League members, going on to Ray Fisher as Cyborg. Now here's the thing, if you have seen the 2017 Justice League, you will all know that Cyborg looked like he had the emotional backdrop. However, that film speeds by so quick at a pro, but also not really so much to its benefit as to negating the film's experience, if you ask me. Essentially just scrubs away Cyborg's backstory. There's barely any. Or in the Snyder Cut, not only is it fully fleshed out here, oh my god, Ray Fisher acts his heart out. Seeing him as a guy that resents one person, but also he's trying to come to terms of his life as essentially, pun intended, a cyborg. There is a scene involving Ray Fisher and his dad. Good lord, man, he is acting his heart out. I can totally see why Ray Fisher was heavily against not only Joss Whedon, but trying to get this cut in fruition. And man, Ray Fisher, good job on finding the good fight in this one, seriously. Now, that's not to say that Henry Cavill isn't great as Superman, because he absolutely is. Now, I will not lie to you guys, and I'm going to try not to give away any spoilers. Henry Cavill's Superman isn't in this film that much. Though if you ask me though, it doesn't really need a whole lot of Superman. When he is in this movie, it is absolutely amazing. I mean, the moment I saw him come up again, I just got the biggest smile on my face. One of my biggest flaws with the 2017 version, in fact, I think it was my biggest issue minus one other thing, was Steppenwolf. Not only did he look like crap, he was intimidating, he might as well have been a pushover, but he was given almost nothing to do in that film. Not the case in this film. In Zack Snyder's Justice League, not only is Steppenwolf actually quite intimidating and threatening, he can be kind of scary at times too. I don't know if they did work on his voice because his voice sounds a whole lot better here, but Steppenwolf looks like a badass here. I mean, that armor is so freaking cool. I mean, compared to the cosplay armor that we got back in 2017. This was a Steppenwolf I would have loved to have seen, and not just that, he is given a character arc in this movie. A lot of people will ask about Darkseid. Darkseid, I'm not going to go into it specifically because of spoilers, because I know if I talk about Darkseid in any way, it's just going to give away spoilers. So I'm just going to say this, watch the movie at this point, because Darkseid is in this movie. That's all I'm going to say about it. Something else that I absolutely love about Zack Snyder's Justice League is this. Comparing it once again to the 2017 version, the 2017 version of Justice League speeds by so quickly, even at 2 hours, that when it feels like it's about to progress at a story detail or at a character arc, it just stops midway. But here in Zack Snyder's version, not only does it fully elaborate and expand upon certain things, but Zack Snyder does such a great job of fully flourishing characters that every character gets their moment to shine. And of course, if you have seen the shirt I'm wearing, my boy, yes, the Joker is in this movie. All I'm going to say is this. This Joker is the Joker I would have loved to have seen in Suicide Squad. The expanding, the flourishing, and the elaborating only is benefited by that 4-hour runtime, which don't worry, I'll get into later on. One particular thing that I was not expecting about Zack Snyder's Justice League is that it starts off more as a slow burn, if you ask me. However, I was still sucked in from the moment that I started. It's a slow burn that the more that it goes on, the more and more and more that it builds, and it builds to one amazing conclusion. I mean, oh my god. Something else that I feel like I need to say. If you have seen the trailers do give more of a somber tone, and do not get me wrong, while this movie does have more of a darker, somber tone to it, at the same time, there are such beautiful moments in this movie, emotional moments, and not to mention there are some great, and I mean some great moments that have amazing humor, especially from The Flash. Cyborg in particular has a moment with The Flash that had me laughing really, really hard. A lot of people have been saying that Zack Snyder's Justice League is essentially the 2017 version, but with deleted scenes. That could not be further from the truth. I believe it does have one, maybe 2 scenes that play out like they do in Whedon's version. But with that being said, other than those 2 sequences, I can't think of a single scene that plays out exactly like it does in the Whedon version. While you may see certain scenes that look similar to the 2017 version, they play out differently and all the better for it. Something else that I absolutely loved about Zack Snyder's Justice League is the action. Oh my god. The action in this film is absolutely incredible. This movie is rated R for, I believe, some action and language, I think it is, if I remember correctly. Now here's the thing. There is blood in this movie, and there are things being cut off in this movie. How Zack Snyder does the violence, it comes off as brutal more than gratuitous, more than glorifying violence. Altogether, the action sequences are so well done, and not to mention they are shot so beautifully. Everything is coherent, nothing is so haphazardly edited. Going on to the cinematography, this movie is shot so beautifully. Fabian Wagner shoots one incredible looking film. This movie does have more of a moody color palette. However, at the same time, there are many moments where the colors shine, they are vibrant, and they just explode. When it comes to the aspect ratio, I don't know if HBO Max is going to show this in IMAX resolution where the entire thing is filled up, but how I saw it was where it looked like this, like it was almost like a letterbox 4:3 situation. I don't know if they're going to change it for when it actually comes out on HBO Max, but personally for me, I like the aspect ratio. It looked more immersive, it looked like you were getting more intimate with the action and the characters. I really thought that Fabian Wagner shot one amazing film. Another thing that I love, and I mean I loved this about Zack Snyder's Justice League, was the music by Tom Hulkenberg, aka Junkie XL. I think he's known by Tom Hulkenberg these days. Going back to the 2017 version, Danny Elfman, who I absolutely love, composed the music to that movie, and nothing about the score in that movie stood out. Tom Hulkenberg's music in this movie gives me chills just thinking about it. Like, there is a particular song called The Crew at War Power, I think it is. I have been listening to that score on a loop. Not gonna lie to you guys, there were a couple of scenes in which, not only did I have a big smile across my face, I got chills galore. I mean, big time. Tom Hulkenberg's music in this movie is nothing short of spectacular. I'm gonna get the soundtrack as soon as it comes out because it is just that darn good. One thing in particular that I need to talk about is this, and I brought this up earlier in the review. The movie's runtime. Zack Snyder's Justice League is 4 hours long, specifically 4 hours and 2 minutes. Now trust me, I get it. When you hear that, you just think, 4 hours? Huh. It is a time commitment. I understand the hesitation. However, this is a movie that is essentially separated into 6, technically 7 chapters. This is a movie that you can either stop and take breaks throughout, or you can do what I did and watch all 4 hours at the same time. Now, yes, that is absolutely crazy. However, it's honestly one of the most well-paced horror films I have seen really in ages. 5 minutes into this film, I was sucked in, and the moment it was like an hour before the movie ended, I was just thinking, wait, it's already been 3 hours? Honestly, when I look at every scene and when I think about every scene, there is not a single aspect that I would really cut out. There is no scene I would cut out of this movie whatsoever, because every scene in this movie, unless if you split into 2 parts, there is no part of this movie that I would cut out. Like, every part of this movie is important. On to the last thing that I need to talk about. The last 10 minutes. If they do not allow Zack Snyder to make his Justice League trilogy, I'm gonna be so upset, because what they set up in that final 10 minutes, I was so giddy with excitement, it's not even funny.
Well, that's just fucking great!
Even though Zack Snyder's Justice League is the movie that I wanted from 2017, at the same time, I do have some minor, and I mean minor issues with this movie. It doesn't negate my overall score of this movie, but I do have to address the minor issues that I have. The CG, a lot of the time in Justice League, the 2017 version, didn't look that great. Here, I want to say about 95% of the time, especially on Cyborg, the CG actually looks really, really good. However, there is one particular sequence, and there are a couple of shots where the CG does look a little too video game-like. Zack Snyder, if you have seen his films, one of the bits of his style is that he likes to put music in his movies. There is a particular sequence into where Aquaman is coming out. It looks like he is about to jump back into the ocean. The song choice isn't a bad one. It didn't necessarily take me out, but I just thought, okay, I mean, it's not bad, but could have chosen maybe something a little bit better. There is a scene with Aquaman. I can maybe see the scene maybe being trimmed, maybe just 2 seconds, but that's it.
And here we go.
So overall, Zack Snyder's Justice League was exactly the film that I was hoping it would be, and more. This movie is an epic, it's a spectacle, and it's probably my favorite Zack Snyder film. And even though it is 4 hours long, it's a 4-hour runtime that I cannot wait to see again. I absolutely loved Zack Snyder's Justice League, with my minor issues, do not get me wrong, but they do not negate my overall love for this film. So guys, all in all, I am going to give Zack Snyder's Justice League a 5 out of 5 stars. Now originally this was a 4.5 out of 5, but the more that I've thought about it and the more that I've talked about it, it's a 5 out of 5 for me. Like, I absolutely loved this film. It comes on HBO Max today, and I get it once again, 4 hours, but trust me, it's absolutely worth it, and I am praying that Zack Snyder can make his Justice League trilogy. Alrighty guys, so comment down below and let me know. Have you all seen Zack Snyder's Justice League? If so, what'd you think? If not, are you excited? Let me know below. If you guys want to follow me on social media, I'm on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch. I'm also on Snapchat and Stardust. So if you guys want to follow me on all those social media platforms, all the links in the username in the description below. And by the way, one more thing before I end this video. As you all know, one of the reasons why Zack Snyder left the production of Justice League is because he dealt with a personal tragedy in his family. One of his family members had, to say the least, they had committed suicide. They had put up a cause, I believe, for the American Suicide Foundation. I can't remember exactly what it is. They put up this donation site, and I just want to say for you guys, I don't know if you guys can donate. I did. I donated the price of an IMAX ticket to this foundation because this is personal for me, because years ago, not to get too personal with you guys, my family had lost a family member due to what Zack Snyder's family had lost their family member to, and I donated. And even if you guys cannot donate, just please share the link with you guys as well. What this donation is for, I'm all for it due to personal experiences. I hope you guys enjoyed my review of Zack Snyder's Justice League. If so, please hit that like button, also subscribe, and don't forget to hit that notification bell for whenever the latest video of mine goes live. If you guys want to see any of my previous 2 videos, please click on the right there or there. And of course, until my next video or review, I'll see you all next time. And one more thing, for autumn.